Welcome to our Acts of Motivation presentation, where we explore how the theories of motivation come together to support real world growth and change. This presentation is brought to you by Lisa Crafton and Angela Nouryeh. Our goal is to inspire you to view motivation not just as a trait, but as a teachable and adaptable strategy. Through personal examples and research-based approaches, we'll demonstrate how motivation can be cultivated, strengthened, and sustained in meaningful ways. We invite you to reflect and consider how you might apply these strategies in your own life, personal or professional.
By the end of this presentation, teachers will learn about the three main motivational theorists, hear about examples that worked utilizing these theories, and learn how to use these motivational strategies to apply them personally and professionally.
The main motivational strategy theories we're going to focus on are expectancy value theory, which was developed by John William Atkinson and further expanded by Jacqueline Eccles. The causal attribution theory, which was developed by Bernard Weiner. And finally, goals and goal orientation theory, developed by M.K. Alderman.
The expectancy value theory of motivation is based on how an individual's motivation to achieve is influenced by their beliefs about their ability and how much value they place on a particular task. The theory further explained that task values break down to attainment value, intrinsic interest value, utility value, and cost. Task values, on the other hand, break down to attainment value, intrinsic or interest value, utility value, and cost. Attainment values refer to the importance of doing well on a task, suggesting identifying the task with one's identity or personal value. Utility value is the usefulness of doing well on a task, focusing on how doing well on a task fits a future plan and suggesting doing a task as a means to an end. Intrinsic or interest value suggests the enjoyment in doing a task due to personal or situational interest. And cost refers to the price one has to pay or the effort one has to make in accomplishing a task. It focuses on the fact that someone may have to cancel out other activities, such as hanging out with a friend or watching a movie, to engage in the given task.
All right, next we have causal attribution theory. Causal attribution theory influences how people are motivated to improve, persist, or even give up. Three dimensions of attribution affect motivation. Locus of control. Is the cause internal, within the person, or external, outside of the person? For example, someone might think, internally, I'm good at math. Externally, the teacher has helped me a lot. Stability is the cause is stable, it's unchanging, or it's unstable and it can change. For example, if it's stable, they may think, I've always been bad at math. Unstable might be, I was tired or sick that day. Controllability, can the person control the cause? Controllable, I didn't study enough. Uncontrollable, I was sick before the test.
The goals and goal orientation theory states that a person's motivation to achieve a goal is related to their goal orientation. The four goal orientations are mastery approach. The person wants to learn and improve by completing a task. Mastery avoidance. The person avoids the task because they think they'll not be able to learn enough to do the task. Performance approach. The person completes a task because they want to demonstrate superiority, get an external reward, or outshine their peers. Performance avoidance. The person wants to avoid being embarrassed or failing at the task. Together, we applied various motivational theories to support and encourage our family members through their individual challenges. In the following slides, we'll present a brief overview of each person's unique struggles and the specific motivational strategies we implemented to help boost their engagement, confidence, and overall drive. Our goal was to foster a sense of agency and resilience by aligning strategies with their personal needs and circumstances.
Our first example is Rob, and I used the expectancy value theory for him, and it was to encourage him to work out in the morning, eat healthier, and begin journaling, all which would increase his overall health and assist in lowering his cholesterol levels. I hypothesized a plan that would increase his motivation while ensuring that he saw the utility value in the task to maintain a healthy lifestyle and productive workout program. I suggested the following 3 actions for Rob to improve his motivation and begin and regain his belief that he could make changes that would affect his future. First, I suggested working out in the morning. I also suggested that we together did research on specific foods that can help lower cholesterol. And finally, for him to start journaling with a list of his food intakes, amount of food, types of workout, and finally, positive affirmations. I have seen Rob's overall motivation and outlook improve. He's begun to make positive changes in his workout routine and his diet. I believe that if he continues to see the utility value and the cost of his motivation was worth the effort, he will see the changes are worth the value. When I asked him how he felt, he told me that his was feeling better with my support and motivation, and he's still resisting the journal portion, but I have faith that in time, the cost and the effort will be worth it in the end. Rob is becoming more positive that his efforts will lower his cholesterol levels, and I foresee these changes will help us both as long as we continue to encourage and motivate each other. Next, I used the causal attribution theory for my daughter, Elizabeth. Elizabeth needed some assistance in staying motivated and being successful with her ability to stay on task. She lacks time management skills, and I hypothesized that her ADHD was affecting her ability to stay on task. The motivational strategies that I employed were to use a timer and setting process-based goals. One thing I've always noticed in Elizabeth and not quite understood was her ability to focus on time. So, in order to support her time blindness, meaning she doesn't have a sense of time, I ordered her a kitchen timer to help her assist with her time management. During her scheduled work times, she was able to use the timer, and we also employed the Pomodoro technique, which was created by Carrillo. This technique is using sets of work time where they only work for 25 minutes and then they have a break. And he has a suggestion of using it 4 sets of them. So for Elizabeth, we started with 2. And then after you complete a full round of these Pomodoros, then you have a longer break. She really liked this, and she also liked the fact that when she had the break time, she had a timer on for that as well. And so again, it supported her time blindness and helped her stay on task. During her scheduled work sessions, she was able to use these techniques and stay motivated to complete her tasks. Additionally, I suggested that she focuses on process-based goals rather than outcome-based goals for her professional and work schedule. Overall, I was pleased, and so was Elizabeth, and she tried these new motivational strategies. I introduced her to the basics of the causal attribution theory. I explained the goals, and these all helped her reframe her motivation, and she was happy to see that her ADHD was the cause of some of her time blindness. But by using the timer and the Pomodoro technique, it's helped her stay on task. And she has even done some further research about this, and she has gained confidence, and she knows that she can do better by using these strategies. And she just overall did a great job with it.
Okay, much like Elizabeth, Chris also struggles with time blindness, although until we started doing this and I learned from Angela that that's what it was called. I didn't know that that's what it was called. But he struggles with being somewhere for 30 minutes and he doesn't even realize how much time has gone by. So now I know that that is time blindness. My plan to help motivate Chris came about because of a daily struggle in our family to get him ready in the morning. The goal is to have him independently complete the tasks involved with getting ready. And after talking with him, I discovered he knew he could complete the tasks, but he felt that external factors distracted him and kept him from finishing promptly. Based on what I learned about causal attribution theory, I gave him a choice in the order of the tasks and also changed the location of the components of those tasks, such as his toothbrush and toothpaste, to a different bathroom to avoid as much distraction as possible. This worked well, and we have not had the same struggles since because now he knows that he can get ready independently. The other thing we wanted to work on this summer, I wanted to motivate him to complete a boating safety course at the lake this year. He was really not excited about that idea. I explained that he'd get to drive the boat and the jet skis, but he still was not interested. After a discussion about why he did not want to do the class, he said he was worried about passing the ending test and was not sure he could do the work well. I told him he could have multiple chances to take the class and the test if he needed them. That relaxed his entire body immediately because he does struggle with test anxiety, and understanding that he could have more than one opportunity for success made him immediately calm. I also reminded him he's very smart. His dad and I know he will do well, and he's learning important information, and we're going to be proud of him as long as he does his best. Those reminders helped to change his thinking to a mastery approach, and he completed the course without any trouble.
All right, that's great. So let's look at what strategies we used for our family members and how we can use them in the classroom. So we've broken them down to elementary and middle. So for elementary, using a timer and also the Pomodoro technique would be very helpful for kids to stay on task. We can also talk about using journals to for kids to make lists of their goals and their dreams. Checklists for assignments. This is a big one. I have been using this for years, and it's helpful for the children so they know what else they have left to do. And it's also helpful for the parents so they can see what they need to still assist their child in. And finally, giving them choice. They need that sense of independence, and to be able to make those choices helps them feel like they can stay motivated.
And for
All right.
middle school, the ones that we have are giving choices to the students. We do this in choice boards and things like that to give them more of a feeling of control over their learning, which is particularly important as the students get older. They really need to feel like they have that control over what's going on. I provide a safe, quiet, and uncluttered workspace. That's really important that they feel safe where they are. Keeping the uncluttered space helps them to focus more easily and not get so distracted. The quiet space does not always happen, particularly if we're doing group work. But for testing purposes and things like that, we always try to make sure that it's a quiet space. We remind the students of high expectations, that they are able to meet these goals, that they can do this, and we're going to help them along the way. And then also giving multiple chances for success. And this one struck me as particularly important because I noticed when we were doing our programs this time, anytime I noticed on our testing that we had multiple chances, my anxiety immediately decreased. So to give our students, and I think Angela's thinking the same thing.
Yes.
To give our students those multiple chances takes away some of that testing anxiety that they feel, because they know that even if they don't do it well the first time, they'll get feedback and they'll be able to do it better the next time around.
Yes, I agree. So again, these are strategies to help improve our students' motivation. Even though they are broken down between middle and elementary, they can be used across the board. And these are strategies that we have found that worked on our families, and we think that they will also work in our students. All right, now that you have the motivational theories to support your understanding, the question becomes, how will you use them to empower yourself and others? What meaningful changes can you make in your personal or professional life to foster growth, resilience, and motivation? We encourage you to start applying one of the motivational strategies we discussed to yourself. Before you can effectively support others, it's important to understand how these theories can improve your growth. Identify an area in your life where you face challenges. Reflect on which motivational theories best aligns with your goals and your needs. Use it as a guide to move forward with the intention and confidence. Once you have it under control, you can then move on and support others. You can support a colleague, students, family members, and remember to maintain a positive mindset, stay focused, and keep pushing forward. Growth takes time, but using the right tools and perseverance, change is always possible. We believe in you. You've got this. You've got the knowledge. Never give up. Your impact starts today.
Here are the references that we used for this motivational video. All images, unless stated otherwise, are from Canva's library of images. In closing, motivation is not just a concept, it's an action, a mindset, and a tool that we can all use to inspire growth in ourselves and others. Whether through small daily choices or intentional strategies grounded in theory, we each have the power to make a lasting impact. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you walk away feeling empowered to turn motivation into meaningful action, because every act of motivation matters. Remember, you got this.